Hi, I'm John Kursky, and if you use Power Query Lint, you may have seen this issue with a parameter. I want to show you what that issue is, why it's important, and how to solve it. So let's take a look at that issue. Up on the screen here, I have a Power BI model, and I'm using the Tyndall view to script out the whole representation of the model. And if I copy that code into Power Query Lint using the Lint Tyndall feature, you'll see up at the right it says avoid using any type for a file path URL or database reference. And what does that mean? Well, when you go into Power BI, and I'm in the Power Query window here, often it's a best practice to create parameters for your database references or your URLs because maybe you want to switch it between development and test or work in a different version of your database when you're working locally and change it when you push it to production. And when you go to create a parameter, the default setting is going to be any. Now, when you publish this to the service, that can be a problem. When it works locally, it works just fine. But let me show you what that problem is. So if I published this model, let me go to the screen here, and I'm got the same model I just published, and I go to settings, and I go to parameters. You'll notice if I want to change that, I can't. So that's a problem. The other problem you have is if you're using a deployment pipeline, and I'm in kind of the classic version of the deployment pipeline, and I want to take advantage of the changing the parameters with deployment rules, if I click here, notice that the deployment rules don't allow me to change the parameters. So that's also a problem. So how do you fix this? Well, it's an easy fix, but it can quite frustrating if you don't deal with it. You publish the model, you're about ready to make updates, and now you got to go back and make those changes. So easy fix. If I go into the existing parameter, manage parameter, go to text, change the type from any to text, hit OK now. I'm going to close and apply. I'm going to go back to the model here, and I go to publish. I'm going to replace it. All right, now if I go back to the report, the semantic model, and I go to the parameters, now I can change it. That's the first thing that's nice. The next thing that's nice is if I go to the deployment pipelines, just refresh the page real quick. I want to deploy and update to the semantic model. And if I check the deployment rules now, you notice I have an option to add a rule, and I can change the web URL to a different URL. So I hope you find this video helpful. This is one of the common issues that I have seen when doing peer reviews, and it can be super frustrating when you're ready to move stuff to test in production. With just that one change to the type of the parameter, you can make your life easier. Power Query Lint Pro tries to catch that early in the process. So I hope you subscribe and stay tuned for more videos on these rules and best practices.